Welcome back to another video. Guys, today we're delving into one of the creepiest places in the UK, Chillingham Castle. If you're a fan of ghost stories, this place is practically a gold mine of paranormal activity, with a history that's as rich as it is chilling. Chillingham Castle, located in Northumberland, has a history that dates back to the 12th century. Over the years, it has seen battles, sieges, and betrayals, leaving behind a legacy of hauntings that have made it infamous. But it's not just the age of the castle that makes it creepy. It's the stories of the spirits that still linger within its walls. Many visitors report feeling a strange presence, hearing unexplained noises, and even witnessing apparitions. One of the most famous ghosts is that of Lady Mary Barclay, who lived in the castle during the 16th century. Mary was said to have been heartbroken when her husband, Sir Edward, cheated on her with her sister. Legend has it that after she discovered the betrayal, she died of a broken heart. Now, her spirit is said to roam the castle, particularly in the Grey's apartment, where she is often seen wandering the halls, dressed in a flowing white gown. Guests have reported feeling a cold breeze and hearing soft crying sounds, as if she's still mourning her lost love. And then there's the story of the Blue Boy. This apparition is particularly unsettling. According to legend, a young boy was found dead within the castle walls, his remains hidden and forgotten. It's said that he was a servant or possibly the child of one of the castle's residents. His ghost is often seen near the pink bedroom, where he supposedly met his tragic end. Visitors have reported hearing the sound of a child crying or even seeing a small figure darting past them in the dim light. Some have claimed that the boy appears at midnight, screaming in terror, his ghostly form glowing with an eerie blue light. Another chilling tale involves the castle's torture chamber. Yes, you heard that right. Chillingham Castle has a dark history of violence, with many prisoners tortured within its walls. The screams and cries of those tortured are said to still echo in the dungeons. Paranormal investigators who have visited the castle report capturing strange voices on their recordings. Some even describe feeling physically restrained, as if being held down by unseen hands. Chillingham Castle isn't just a place for ghost stories. It's a location where history and hauntings intertwine. Visitors have the unique opportunity to spend the night in one of the castle's guest rooms, but many leave with a sense of unease. They say that if you're brave enough to stay the night, you might just find yourself face to face with one of the castle's many spirits. So, now that you've got the background on Chillingham, let's dive deeper into the experiences of those who have ventured into its haunted halls. Many who visit the castle report feeling a strange energy that seems to pulse through the air. It's that eerie sense that you're not alone, even when no one else is around. One particularly memorable investigation involved a group of paranormal researchers who set up camp in the castle to document the supernatural activity. As they began their exploration, they set up cameras and recording equipment throughout the property. Almost immediately, they picked up strange sounds, soft whispers that seemed to be coming from nowhere, and chilling laughter echoing through the dark corridors. Some captured video footage that showed shadows moving inexplicably, darting in and out of sight. During their stay, they focused on the infamous Grey's apartment, where many visitors reported feeling an intense cold spot and witnessing the apparition of Lady Mary. As the night wore on, the temperature dropped drastically, and one investigator claimed to have felt a gentle tug at his sleeve. When he turned around, there was no one there, but the feeling of a cold hand lingering on his arm remained. Meanwhile, in the pink bedroom, another team member was trying to communicate with the spirit of the Blue Boy. She held a flashlight and began asking questions, hoping to provoke a response. To her shock, the flashlight flickered on and off as if answering her calls. It was in that moment that she felt something brush against her leg. When she looked down, There was nothing there, just the shadows lurking in the corners of the room. Not everyone experiences fear in Chillingham, though. Some visitors describe an overwhelming sense of sadness that washes over them as they walk through the halls. A couple who spent the night reported feeling inexplicably drawn to certain rooms, feeling as if they were being beckoned by unseen forces. It was later revealed that they had unknowingly entered the torture chamber, a room with a dark history that filled them with a sense of dread and sorrow. As dawn broke, the atmosphere began to shift. The light chased away the shadows, and the castle took on a different form, still beautiful, yet marked by its grim history. But the spirits, it seems, never truly leave. Those who dare to linger after dark often find that the past has a way of intertwining with the present, reminding us that some places carry their stories through time, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. And so, Chillingham Castle stands today not just as a relic of the past, but as a living testament to the eerie echoes of history and the restless spirits that still roam its halls. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is for sure: Chillingham will leave you with chills long after you've left its haunted grounds. As the day turned to twilight, the castle's atmosphere shifted dramatically. The warm light of sunset faded into deep shadows that clung to the walls like a heavy shroud. Thomas and Lisa, still buzzing from the stories they had heard earlier, gathered with other guests in the main hall for an evening tour. The guide, a local historian with a passion for ghost stories, shared chilling tales that made the hair on the back of their necks stand up. Each story added weight to the air, filling the room with a sense of anticipation and dread. "Now, I should warn you," the guide said, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "There's a reason this castle is known as one of the most haunted in Britain. People have reported seeing ghostly figures, hearing unexplained sounds, and even feeling cold spots in the air. If you hear a child's laughter or see shadows flitting by, don't panic, it just means you're not alone." As they moved from room to room, Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that something was following them. Every time she glanced over her shoulder, she felt the weight of someone's gaze boring into her. Thomas noticed her discomfort. "You okay?" he asked, trying to sound reassuring. "It's just stories, right?" But Lisa's eyes were fixed on a dark corner of the room where the shadows seemed to pulse and shift, as if they were alive. Later that night, after the group had dispersed and the castle fell silent, Thomas and Lisa made their way back to the Gray's apartment. The air was thick with anticipation as they pushed open the heavy wooden door. Inside, the room was cold, far colder than it had been earlier. Lisa stepped inside first, a chill running down her spine as she felt the temperature drop even more. "I think I'm getting a bad vibe," she said, her voice shaky. "What if Lady Mary doesn't want us here?" "Come on, it's just a story," Thomas reassured her, but even he felt a knot tightening in his stomach. They settled into the room, the moonlight spilling through the window, casting long shadows across the floor. They set up a small recording device, hoping to capture something unusual. After a few minutes of silence, they began to hear soft sounds, distant whispers that echoed off the walls. It was as if the room itself were alive, breathing in time with their own heartbeats. Suddenly, a loud thump echoed through the room, making both of them jump. "What was that?" Lisa exclaimed, eyes wide with fear. Thomas strained to listen, but the only sound was the faint rustle of the wind outside. Trying to remain calm, he stood up and moved toward the door. "Let's check it out." As he opened the door, the cold air rushed in, making the candle flames flicker wildly. But when they stepped into the hallway, the atmosphere felt heavier, as if they had crossed an invisible threshold into a different realm. As they walked down the corridor, a chill swept over them, and they stopped at the entrance to the pink bedroom. Despite the fear creeping into their bones, curiosity pulled them closer. They had heard the stories, the boy who died, the cries that echoed through the walls. They pushed the door open, and to their astonishment, the room felt completely different. The air was thick with sorrow, and the walls seemed to vibrate with unspoken stories. Lisa gasped as a sudden wave of sadness washed over her, almost overwhelming in its intensity. In that moment, they both felt a gentle tug at their sleeves, as if the very spirits of the castle were reaching out to them. "We shouldn't be here," Lisa whispered, panic creeping into her voice. But Thomas, feeling strangely emboldened, spoke softly into the room. "We mean no harm, we're just here to listen." As if in response, a soft light flickered in the corner of the room, casting fleeting shadows that danced across the walls. For a brief moment, they both felt a sense of connection, like the spirits were acknowledging their presence, welcoming them into the tapestry of stories woven through time.